This is Reed Seals for AM 1340 WGRV. I'm here with Sheriff candidate for the Republican primary, Vincent Tweed. Vincent, first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
First off, I'd like to thank you, Reed, for inviting me here, spending your time and allowing me to speak and answer your questions today. I'm Travis Vincent Tweed. I'm seeking the nomination of the voters of Greene County for the office of sheriff in the Republican primary on Tuesday, May the 1st, 2018. I'm 55 years old, 6'4", 250 pounds, pretty good health. I'm married to Jeannie Townsend. I have one son named Andrew David Tweed. I'm a Methodist. I attend Trinity United Methodist Church. My educational background, I'm a Greenville High graduate in 1981. I graduated from ETSU with a political science degree concentrating government and law, with a minor concentrating criminal justice. In 1993, I attended the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy in Donaldson and graduated. I've been working at the Sheriff's Department for over 28 years. I actually started in '87, but the jail was taken over a couple years by a private company. I started out working as a jailer, correction officer, moved up through the ranks to sergeant and lieutenant, ended up second in charge of the jail at one time, and while I was working in the jail, I dispatched, later served civil process, and then 1993 I went on patrol duty as a patrol deputy. 1998 I was promoted to detective sergeant, and then in 2013 detective lieutenant. Some of the organizations that I support and like, I'm in the Loyal Order of the Moose, National Rifle Association, Greene County and Tennessee Republican Party, Ducks Unlimited, the Wounded Warriors, and I'm one of the charter members of the Child Protective Investigative Team. They call it SIPIT team, investigates child abuse. Is mainly what I do now.
And what made you want to decide to run for sheriff?
Well, I just want to, I think I have the qualifications and the background and experience that I could do a good job as sheriff, and I just want to make Greene County a safer place for everybody to live and prosper. That's my main goal.
And what do you think is the biggest crime issue that Greene County is facing currently?
I think the biggest crime problem that we're hearing about today is probably the drug opioid problem. I believe a lot of the crimes being committed, the burglaries, the thefts, and are being committed due to drug addiction. You know, people are committing crimes from bad checks to murders, to steal the drugs from people or get the drugs for themselves, or steal the money to get drugs. The drug problem's not a new problem. It's just that over the years the drugs have changed. Back in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, heroin, LSD, marijuana, speed, angel dust, methamphetamine back then, crack, cocaine, they were all drugs that have come through. And then in recent years you add to this bath salts, crystal meth, designer synthetic drugs, fentanyl and carfentanil, and on top of that prescription drugs. You add that to the list of the other ones, and it's just a never-ending problem. I've worked over the years many overdose deaths in the county, ranging from black tar heroin overdose, people dying with needles in their arms, to people that used highly pure cocaine that wasn't cut and it killed them. And of course, prescription drug deaths, overdoses. One of the problems, crystal meth and fentanyl and carfentanil, they're readily available and relatively cheap, and that's why a lot of people are using them. The problem with the synthetic opioids, fentanyl and carfentanil's concentrated. It's a concentrated drug, just like a Splenda or Sweet and Low pack of the carfentanil, depending on what the dosage is of it, could kill up to 50,000 people, could overdose 50,000 people. And that's pretty wicked stuff. 2 micrograms could get somebody, an individual, high, and 3 micrograms could kill you, depending on the concentration of the stuff. Having said that, there's no easy answer to the drug problem, or somebody would have come up with it by now. As sheriff, I'd continue to support our 3rd Judicial Task Force members in counties to combat this ongoing problem, and continue to enforce the laws and arrest the drug dealers, the producers, the growers, the distributors, and the users. I think we can reach out to DEA and ATF and other agencies that we have at our disposal to team up with them to try to come up with new solutions to these problems, because it's continuing. And we need to try to educate the user and the public, the user to desire to seek an opportunity to recover from using these very addictive drugs and try to lead a prosperous life.
And what are your plans if you do become sheriff?
If elected, of course, I will perform the duties that sheriffs is set out by law, establishing law and order, putting down any disturbances, breach of peace, while upholding the United States Constitution and the Tennessee Constitution. Execute those duties to protect the rights of all Greene County citizens. I try to maximize utilization of available resources to try to make our sheriff's department more productive. I plan on establishing a clear, concise, defined policy and procedure that would help protect our county and our deputies, that will be enforced consistently and fairly. I would review and evaluate any programs that we have in effect and operational procedures that we have in place right now, and make any adjustments. We've had some issues that have been brought out in the media and multimedia lately. We try to address those and make adjustments. I'd evaluate the multi-million-dollar sheriff's department budget that we have to see if we can find any savings that could be gained while maintaining the same or greater service for the people of Greene County. I think in the last 4 years, I know that we've had at least 14 people retire and move on to other jobs or have to resign. We've given a lot of civil service tests, more than I can remember over the years, and hiring people. And I think I would probably look at, if the budget would allow it, as to trying to put a pay scale in to where we could retain our deputies working in the jail and on the road, to try to establish, if one has been there longer, they would know what they would be making down the road, and a road officer that's been working 9 years won't make the same amount of money as one that just started. That doesn't seem right to me. I believe that we should have school resource officers in every school, and I will try to work to get that accomplished. Want to reestablish or reorganize the warrant division and attach it to the CID division to assist our detectives anytime that they need any help finding anybody or locating property or stuff like that. And to help serve, as of July 21st of 17, we had over 3,000 warrants, criminal and civil papers on file. So we would try to get those served and people arrested. I hope to slow and reverse the trend of violence and murder that seems, in my opinion, to have been worse in the last decade here. In February and March of 2000, I investigated 2 murders back to back, one in February and one in March, of which 3 people were killed, and I successfully prosecuted that and got convictions on all the perpetrators on that. Over my 28-year career in law enforcement, I have been actively involved in over 30 death, murder, attempted murder, murder-suicides, and suicide investigations. So I've got experience. Over the years, I've worked everything from bad checks to forgeries to murders. I've been the lead investigator, like I said, on 4 murder cases, and I've assisted on over 6 other murder cases. I believe I have the education, the experience, the maturity, the temperament, communication, and leadership skills to effectively lead the Greene County Sheriff's Department in a positive direction in the future, and I'd appreciate your vote and support.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No.
Okay. That was Vincent Tweed. He is running for the Republican primary for Greene County Sheriff. This is Reed Seals for AM 1340 WGRV.